Okay, well, what a day at the America's Cup. The first race today, we lose to the time limit, and Emirates Team New Zealand with a lead that at one point I think we saw was nearly 1,500 meters, and the race doesn't make it for the time limit. The second attempt, well, the Kiwis win the start. They have the early lead, but then they give it up before the bottom mark, and Oracle Team USA sails to a fantastic win and lives to race another day. So let's take a look at today's action, and then we'll bring the guys out. Okay, well, let's bring out our sailors then. From Emirates Team New Zealand, Ray Davies and Dean Barker. And from Oracle Team USA, skipper Jimmy Spithill and tactician Ben Ainsley. Okay, guys, well, thank you for joining us on what was certainly a frustrating day for a pair of you, and obviously on the other side of that, quite a good day for the other two. I normally have some questions prepared, but I don't really know even where to start. Jimmy, if I'd have seen you at 1:30, there was a clip on the TV, and you were watching Emirates Team New Zealand as they were sailing away, and there was a little bit of swearing that came through on the TV. Compare that to how you feel right now.
I'd probably use similar words, to be honest, but I'm not going to say them. But no, look, I mean, sometimes things go your way, and look, that's racing and that's sport, and you know, we actually, you know, we got off the line well in the first race and protected, and you know, these guys were able to sort of out-jibe us and jump away. But you know, one thing that the boys, even during the later stages of race one, the boys weren't giving up. You know, you could see they were all hanging in there, and they just weren't giving up. And you know, that's the way it goes.
Dean, one of the things that surprised us in the post-race interview after the first race, Ray said he wasn't even thinking about the time limit until about halfway down that final run, and I think you told him about it. Was it something that was in the back of your mind earlier, or was it something that you just realized was going to come into play quite late?
No, it was more I just had a look at the watch on the downwind. It's counting back up from the start, and it was became clear that we weren't going to make it in the time limit. So yeah, it's it's obviously in there for a reason, and in the lighter conditions that we had, it's obviously difficult to get around the course in time.
Ray, it was a tactician's day. One of the bigger calls came in the second race on the run. There was the cross with Oracle Team USA on starboard, you guys on port. It was really close. Was there ever any thought of you guys jibing before that cross?
Yeah, they made a pretty nice game before that, and that would have been the better move to jibe, you know, a little before them and protect the long starboard at that point. So yeah, that was an error in that lighter air. You know, a click more breeze, you're able to jibe in front of them and keep your air forward, but in that lighter air, by the time you hook up, we ended up in their gas.
Okay. And Ben, just that moment from your perspective, because clearly it was a turning point in race 2, or the second attempt at the race.
That's right. As Ray says, it's quite difficult because as we were going down that run, the breeze was dying off, so it gave us the opportunity to attack, and it was a very difficult spot for the Kiwis to decide whether to jibe in front or try and pass us. So it worked out for us and gave us a good opportunity.
Okay, so let's open it up to questions then, please, on this side.
Jimmy, yesterday you were very keen to change the rules on win limits. How keen are you today to change the rule on time limits?
I'm open to negotiation.
On this side.
Yeah, hi. Glenn Chapman, AFP. For Dean, I know you succinctly put it frustrating, but really to have a nice sweet lead, to be looking at the finish line, to know you're there, and then to see it not happen. How can you say how that really feels aside from frustrating, like how to have it so close but yet slip away?
It's obviously it's tough on the guys. They put a lot into the race, and you obviously race as hard as you can. We weren't really thinking about the time limit until we sort of realised in that second downwind that it was going to become an issue. I think it's about being able to sort of put it behind you. You can cry or you can laugh and get on with it. And we did. We got back into it. Got off the line well again in the second one, and then we had a lead. In the second one, but we obviously didn't do as good a job as we could have, and so that was frustrating. We had another opportunity there which we let go, and we'll have to make sure that we're on our game again tomorrow.
And just one additional for Jimmy. Today I'm thinking of you. I think of the samurais when they say today is a beautiful day to die. And because every day you're coming in, it's got to be this pressure of like this could be it, right? So how do you clear your mind under that? I know you keep saying you believe you can win, and I'm confident you do, but there's got to be something personal you do to focus your mind, knowing that any single loss is the loss.
We believe we can win. It is as simple as that. I mean, we've worked so hard this whole campaign. From the start of this regatta, we were off the pace, and we were honest about it, and we were critical about it inside our own team. But where we are now, we truly believe we've got the boat to do it. We think we've got the tools to do it. I think the guys are doing a fantastic job on board, and that's all there is to it. To be honest, if you look at the people involved in this team, the fact that we are at match point, it's almost like we get the best out of our people when they're under that sort of pressure. And look, we just take it one at a time, and we'll get back out there tomorrow and try and do it again.
Yes, Luca. Sorry, go ahead, Martin, and then...
Jimmy, did you dodge a bullet today?
I think with these boats on that race course, you can dodge all sorts of bullets out there. But if you look at the start of the regatta, it really felt like everything was going against us. I mean, 4 days out from the start of the regatta, we didn't know who we could race with. We then lost our wing trimmer. We were then told we had lost 2 points, and we hadn't even started the race. Feels to me like it's starting to turn, and the wave is slowly building. There is so much support for the team now in San Francisco. I mean, the messages and the energy that's flooding in, I mean, it's just affecting the guys on board. It's affecting the whole team. And, we just feel like the tide's turning and it's starting to go our way.
Luca.
This is for Dean. Dean, are you suffering from vertigo?
Well, look, it's this is the third race now that we've been in the lead and haven't won. Due to either hitting the win limits or today running at a time limit. So, you sort of say, well, any one of those 3 points would have been quite nice right now. But the team is, there's no lack of confidence or loss of confidence. We know that we can easily get this done, and it's just a case of going out there again tomorrow and racing hard.
Okay, Chris.
Jimmy, could you just talk a bit about the discussion over the time limits on the racing, what your understanding of is about why it was done, why 40 minutes was the limit, and how you feel about that?
I think you've really got to ask Ian that question, I mean, what we think, it's really up to him to, he's got his limits and we've just got to race by that. I gave my opinion yesterday about the win limits. We're happy to raise the win limits a knot or two, or you start the race, you finish the race. But, as we saw yesterday, these guys aren't up for that, and okay, well, that's the way it is.
Yeah, you're pretty deep in the series. It's been long and exhausting. I'm curious for both Dean and James, what's just very roughly your schedule for the next 9 hours? You go shower up, have a meal. How much time are you going to spend reviewing the race? What time are you going to go to sleep? Are you going to be able to get to sleep easily? And what time do you wake up in the morning, if it's not too personal?
Jimmy?
Well, Benny and I usually just start getting warmed up at about midnight and hit the clubs, and I guess we're probably in bed about 4 o'clock in the morning. Matrix tonight.
Just a question for Dean and Jimmy. Ian Murray at the meeting this morning sort of raised some concerns just about the battle of attrition that was going on with sort of no time left, and he had a little bit of a worry about bodies and boats going forward, whether there might be a bit of a need for a timeout. How are you feeling about that?
No, we're happy just to keep sort of pushing on. It's the guys do an amazing job. They work incredibly hard back at the base on getting the boat fully maintained and prepared for racing the following day. You go through the sort of process of recovery for the guys on the boat, and it's really just a case of just getting back out there and getting into it. It'd be nice to, I guess, for everyone to have a bit of time out, but there's not actually that much time left to go anyway. So I think it's just now it's a battle all the way to the end.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. This is for Jimmy and Ben. Do you feel with these guys? You had these situations before in your sailing career, I believe. And do you understand what's happened there, or do you have some feeling?
Ben, do you want to take that one? You've had a few comebacks in your day.
I think you're referring to the first race, how that was. Yeah, I mean, I think whilst we were very happy, we felt very lucky. We also felt for the Kiwi guys, because I think we've all been in that situation where you've got half a hand, or a hand, sorry, on the trophy, and you have to come back and do it all again. It's a tough situation to be in. We certainly felt fortunate, but also as Jimmy says, we've had a bit of a rough time so far, so we'll ride our luck with that one and keep fighting.
Julia?
Back here. Okay. Jimmy, this series is now extended almost 2 weeks. Very physically demanding series, and you folks are known for your depth, but you haven't, aside from changing the tactician, you haven't made any changes. Is that something you might do now? Or do you feel that with the momentum you've got, you want to stick to the hand you've got?
I actually think it comes down to all of the hard work the boys put in over the past couple of years. I mean, the physical hard work and training that these guys have put in to prepare for this race has been up there with what NFL guys go through, with the top athletes in the world, for both teams. And I mean, these guys are incredible athletes, and to be honest, when we've been doing a lot of our training, the guys would train in the morning, we'd go sailing for 5 or 6 hours, we'd come back, and even then they'd train again. So for them, they're obviously not training hard in the morning of a race, and the races are quite short. Now, they're obviously very, very intense, but they've prepared so well for it, and I think our coaching staff and the training staff have done a fantastic job. Recovery's been a big part of it, but yeah, unless we have an issue with sickness or if someone's feeling down, I mean, all the boys are, fatigue's not an issue for us, put it that way.
Jimmy, the pre-start in the second race, it looked like you went for the hook. Whose call was that? Was that the right thing to do? It was quite an aggressive move. You seemed to have a nice spot to windward, and you didn't get the hook. Do you want to just talk us through that?
Yeah, it was a tough start. I mean, we were happy with the first one, with the starboard entry, even to come off the line like that well and win the start. The second one was really difficult because it was ebbing, it was very light. And, we just were worried about the boat ley line getting blocked out. So it wasn't really a hook, it was just trying to push down off the ley line. And that stuff, it's it's quite a challenge actually, trying to just get an even start when you enter from starboard.
question on this side.
So a question to Jimmy. You guys had some problems with the Code Zero. How much of that was hardware and how much of it was maybe rustiness on the playbook and the choreography? Yeah, we had a couple of issues. Just a couple of things went against us, but the key thing there is, how the guy's going to react when there's an issue. And, they kept their heads. A couple of guys focused on, the problems, and they solved them, and they got it organised. Obviously, we can do that better. We know that. We actually had a good discussion straight after the race was blowing off. We got together and, we spoke about it. But yeah, that's something we'll review tonight. So tomorrow we'll be a lot sharper with the Code Zero if we need it.
Ray, a question for you. The wind conditions being so much lighter, especially in the first race, but even in the second, how does your job differ from when the wind's up in the 18, 19, 20 knot range? How does you have more time, but the angles are much different than what you've been seeing for the last 2 weeks. How does your job change, and how do you adapt?
Yeah, in a sense, it does change a little bit, but you get a little bit more time to make decisions on some of those longer legs, and you can sort of think about the course a bit more. When the breeze is up, it's just a bit of a grunt off, and quite a few tacking jewels, but that wasn't really happening today. There's a bit more time to think about it, but when those big long lanes set up, there's not too much you can do about it. You sort of think about the big picture. So really there's not a huge amount of difference, to be honest.
Juliet?
I noticed when you skippers walked in, you barely looked at each other. Can you talk about the dynamic between you two, and try as you might how this is, if this is getting personal?
Dean, you want to first stab?
Well, it's just, I guess, your normal New Zealand-Australian rivalry, and it probably says enough.
Jimmy, anything to add?
Yeah, look, there's fierce rivalry between Australia and New Zealand in sport. It is crazy how deep it is. But, on the other side, if you look at the history of Australia and New Zealand, if either side's in trouble, we're the first guys there to, go and bail them out, and vice versa. So if we're ever in a time of need, we'd be the first one backing each other up. But the fact is, we're in a battle now, and honestly, we both want to kill each other, and that's sport, that's battle. It's I think we've both got a lot of respect for each other, and it's one hell of a fight.
Okay, Chris.
Dean, could you just talk about the 40-minute limits in terms of time, and how aware were you of that coming into this regatta, and what do you think of that limit? Should it be more?
Well, yeah, it would have been nice to be another 10 minutes. Today was a very unusual day on San Francisco Bay, and it was, I think it's the first time we've sailed out there all day when it's sort of been that light all day. So I think when all the thoughts on timing and being able to get 2 races in on a day, to do that in a set time so that it worked around the TV and things, it needed to have a definitive end so that you could actually guarantee you'd be able to get 2 races. So, I think there was obviously very good reasoning for the timing of it all. It's frustrating being on the wrong side of it, but we knew the limit existed. Thanks.
With the Code Zeros and seeing the difference in speed that you two had, are you worried about the fact that you're down in speed, Jimmy, compared to New Zealand right now, or the fact that they couldn't get around the course at that point? Is it a concern?
No, we'll do what we've been doing the whole race. We'll go back tonight and we'll make some changes and we'll improve the boat. I think it's really tough to draw speed comparisons in those sort of conditions. It is pressure related, there's a lot going on. I think there's definitely a few things already we know we can improve on in terms of technique and in the setup of our whole aero package, and we'll make those changes. But no, we're not. If we have to use the Code Zeros, we feel confident we can win.
Question for both the Kiwis. We'll start with Dean first. Dean, does New Zealand need a little bit of luck now to win the America's Cup?
Look, luck's one thing you never walk away from, but it's just a case of going out there and executing a race. And we went in there today with I think a much better attitude than what we had yesterday. I think we took some good lessons out of the way we approached yesterday. I think we approached today well. Maybe we didn't sail as well as we could have in that second one, but it was, it's still, we've got a lot of confidence that we can go out there and race well tomorrow.
Ray, do you believe in luck?
Oh, luck's a great thing. Luck beats skill every time. But, obviously the odds are firmly in our favour at the moment, and we just got to go out and execute a day like we did in that first race. To get 1.5 kilometres ahead was pretty good. We just got to go out with the same sort of thinking tomorrow.
Okay, on this.
Ben, the Leeward Gate looked like a really critical point in the race. The Kiwis got back into you a bit there, and you made a last-second call. I'm just wondering who it was on the boat that made the right turn call.
Well, it was clearly a tricky spot because there was a big right-hand shift coming into that gate, and we weren't 100% sure whether Dean and the guys were going to lay into the left gate or not. But as soon as they jibed, then we made that split-second decision to jibe, and they would either have to follow us to the right gate or take another jibe back to the left, and we'd be in favour with the shift on the right tack. But we were obviously waiting to see what their move was before we made that final choice, and it was the last second thing, which went well.
Okay, and one more. Sorry.
John ICL. This is for both skippers. From 1 to 10, where would you put the aggression level?
Jimmy, pick a number.
Jimmy first.
Pick a number. I don't know, 12, 15, 20. Yeah, look, I mean, it's just full throttle for us. We don't have an option. We're not being conservative out there. We're doing everything we can. And the boys are almost, it sounds crazy, but they're almost excited that we're in this position. And, it just, things are starting to go our way now. And, we're trying to ride the wave of momentum and use it to our favour. We're, like I said, we believe in the boat. We believe we can do it. And we're going to get out there tomorrow and, take one race at a time.
And Dean, he's looking for a number from you as well. Yeah, 12.
Okay, well, thank you for that, folks, and guys, thanks for coming up here after a challenging day. Racing will be on tomorrow on Saturday at 1:15 and 2:15 for local news organizations. We didn't expect racing to go this long. There are tickets available for the bleachers at Marina Green, and if you want people to come out and see this kind of a show, make sure you let them know. Thank you.